Hello, friends. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to go over some lab results with you. So a little bit of my history, and I know some of you already know all of this, but um, I have had a really long history of just a lot of GI issues, like stomach issues. I do have IBS, which is irritable bowel syndrome. I also have reflux. And I've just had, like just a lot of issues with reactions to foods that I eat. Um, there's just certain foods that I know that I can't eat because of how they affect my stomach. So I've been really wanting to do some kind of a food sensitivity test. There are a lot of them out there. It was really hard to really decide and figure out which one I was going to go with. And I ultimately decided to go with the Everly Well testing. The reason that I did that, um, I mean, I know that there's a lot of different people out there and different professionals that offer at-home testing for different things. Ultimately, for me, it was all about my flexible spending account. I know, some of you may not know what that means because you may not have an employer that offers that. But for me, so I have a flexible spending account through my employer. And so I have certain money set aside every year that I can use for like health and medical expenses that aren't necessarily covered by my insurance, by my health insurance or my medical insurance. So it's very, very convenient and very handy and very helpful because at the beginning of the year, I set aside a certain amount of money that goes into my flexible spending account. And then I get a debit card. And that debit card is basically used for that account for that money. It can only be used for certain things that are approved, that are, approved for healthcare, medical care, that type of stuff. I use it for like my contact lenses, eyeglasses, when I go to the chiropractor. If I were to treat myself to a massage, I could use it for that. I can use it for different over-the-counter medications and supplies and stuff like that. Just, random stuff that you need, but your medical insurance doesn't cover it. So, what I'm getting at is I have this debit card that goes directly to my flexible spending account. And the thing that I really liked about the Everly Well website is that it is approved for your flexible spending account, and they actually let you use your debit card for your flexible spending account on their website to purchase the at-home testing. And for me, that was the deciding factor because I know that there's other places where you can get tests done where, like, if you go through different people, you can get the test done and you can get it reimbursed by your flexible spending account, but it requires that you have to submit forms and documents and stuff to them. You have to pay it out of pocket, and then you have to submit all this stuff, and then you get reimbursed. That's a headache to me, honestly. I'm kind of lazy. I'm very busy. If I can cut out any steps that I don't necessarily want to do, then that's what I'm going to do because that's just a lot of, it's just a lot of stuff, just a lot of, I don't know. You know what I'm saying. So anyway, that was kind of my primary deciding factor of why I specifically decided to go with the Everlywell home testing. So it was so convenient. I mean, I got online, I ordered the test, I paid for it with my flexible spending account debit card, and then they just shipped the test right to my house. So pretty convenient. Okay, so they have a couple of different food sensitivity type tests that you can do. I just did the basic one, like the bare minimum. It was a very standard test, just to test for basic sensitivities to a lot of the common foods that people are generally sensitive to. So I'm going to share this with you, and then I'll tell you my thoughts about everything, about my results, and about how everything went. So anyway, I'm going to share my screen and just kind of show you how it all works. Okay, so the first thing I want to show you is this is what the test looks like. This is just the box that got delivered to my house. And then when I opened it up, this is everything that came inside. So you get the box, it kind of tells you how to register your kit online so that you'll be able to actually, submit the results and then be able to get the results. And then they have, really easy step-by-step instructions that you can follow. And then, so this, I don't know if you can see this little thing right here because I don't know if you can see my pointer, but, and I don't know how to actually pull up a pointer, but anyway, in the center of the screen, there is a little card and it has 5 circles on it. So that is the test card. And so basically what you have to do is you have to poke your finger. So down below, there's an alcohol swab that you clean your finger off with. And then there's a couple of pokers in there and you have to poke your finger. And then you have to fill all of these little circles with blood. And it has to be from edge to edge. Like it can't just be a little drop of blood. It is like you have to really put a lot of blood in there. And I will say that these particular pokers, these are not like when you poke your finger to test your blood sugar or your ketones. These are like, these are some stickers. I mean, they really stick you. It's a deep poke, and it really makes you bleed. And then they send 2 of them, I imagine, because if you stop bleeding before you get all of the circles filled, then you have to poke yourself again. Luckily, I was able to just get all of my blood circles filled with just one poke. And I'm telling you, that poke, it actually hurt for it hurt for like maybe a week. Like that poke did not heal and get better for quite a few days. It was very sensitive, very tender at the tip of my finger. So just something to think about. And I believe, so this is a food sensitivity test. And I think that the bigger food test, I think has a bigger blood card. So I think you have to put more blood on it, but I'm not sure. So far, this is the only test that I've done. So anyway, then, so you fill, you fill all of these circles with blood, and they do tell you that you should drink a lot of water before you do this. Like they tell you to be hydrated. I don't know. It has all the instructions in here and tells you exactly, what you should do. Then once you get this card full of blood, then you take the card and you put it in that biohazard bag, the Ziploc bag, and then you stick that back into your the box that they send to you. And then they have like an envelope. I don't have it shown here, but underneath all of the stuff in the box, there is a shipment envelope in there. And so after you're done, you put your card in the bag, you seal it up, you put it inside the box, and then you put the box inside the shipment bag. And then you just put it in the mail and you send it to them. It is so super easy. It was very impressive, actually, how easy the whole process was. And then you register your kit online, you create an account with them online. They will send you like emails every step of the way. Like, like I got an email notification that I had, that I had registered my kit. And then I had like shipping updates. And then it let me know once the test was received at the testing facility. And then it let me know when the test was in progress, when the test was complete, and then when my results were ready for me to review. So I'm going to show you the actual website. Okay, so this is the website. This is I have my account logged in. It's just everlywell.com. And I do have, since I signed up and created an account, they did give me like a friend's referral link. So if you do possibly decide that you are wanting to try one of their at-home tests, I do have a discount link that I will share in the details of the video down below. And I think I also have it saved in my link tree. So I will definitely share that. So if you are wanting to try an at-home test, they have a lot of different kinds, but don't pay full price for sure. Use my discount link. So this is kind of what, the home page looks like. This is like just the dashboard. Um, it just has some very basic information. And so this is the only test that I've had done is the food sensitivity test. And so you can see I got it done in April. I don't really remember how long it took to get the results. It was not very long. Let me see if I can figure this out real quick. So I got the test and I did the test on April 25th. And then they had the results posted on April 30th. So that's, 5 days. That's not a long wait. That's not bad. So I'm going to click on the part here that says view results. Okay, so one of the things that they ask you, you fill out this online form and it asks you a lot of different health questions before you do the test. When you go online to register the test, it has you answer all these questions. And one of the things that I did note was that I believed that I had a lactose intolerance because I don't know, it seems like every time I eat things like I don't know, cottage cheese or sour cream or cream cheese, um, my stomach would get upset. So I assumed that I had an intolerance to lactose. So I did mark that. So it does talk about that on here. It just says, that I indicated that I had a history of lactose intolerance. So one of the really cool things that they offer is once you get your results, then you have the option to join a live webinar with, I think, a physician. It says a healthcare professional, which I assume is, probably a physician, so that you can review your test results with someone. And if you have any questions, then they help, explain everything and answer all of your questions. Unfortunately for me, so I got my test results and then so like they send you an email that tells you all of the dates and times when they have the live webinar available. And none of those times would work for me. Some of them were like during the day while I was working. And then some of them were like I had, like I was gone doing stuff or something. So I never actually got to participate in the live webinar to review my results. So that was a little bit frustrating. I wish that I could have made that work. But anyway, that's pretty awesome. I think that they give that option. So they're not just giving you your results and then you're on your own. If you have questions, then you can join the webinar and you can ask your questions. So I really expected to have a lot of very high reactive foods. So I was extremely surprised by the results of my test. Very, very surprised. So there's different steps that you can do here, but I'm just going to scroll through and show you, what's on the main screen. So this says explore your results below and see which foods you're reactive to in your current diet. So this says, before you dive into your results, you indicated that you had a history of lactose intolerance. This may not be reflected in your test results. Results are based on your current diet. So if you haven't consumed a certain food for a longer period of time, isn't likely to show up in your results. So I didn't realize that when I started this. So, I mean, there are a lot of foods that I believe I am very sensitive to that I have completely cut out of my diet. So, um, obviously, I haven't eaten them for a really, really long time. And so I don't really know if I feel like these results are helpful for me because I just wanted confirmation of, which foods my body is sensitive to. And then I see this where, it says, well, if you haven't eaten something in a really long time, it's not going to show up on the test. Well, that's a lot of the things that I feel like I'm sensitive to. So it says this test measures IgG antibody reactivity to determine suspected foods to consider for a temporary elimination diet and add back challenge. So basically what it's saying is, it's going to identify foods that you're sensitive to, and then it's telling you that they recommend that you do an elimination diet, eliminate those things, and then slowly add them back to see what happens. Well, I don't know. I've been through all of that. I've done a major elimination diet for sure. So explore the differences. So food sensitivity, a delayed non-life-threatening immune response to a specific food perceived by the individual. It is discovered by a blood test for reactivity of IgG antibodies. Common symptoms of food sensitivity are gastrointestinal symptoms such as bloating and migraines. That is fascinating to me, which I have a very strong history of migraines. I haven't had a problem with migraines for a very long time, and I have believed all along that it's because I've changed my diet. And so that statement right there confirms that for me that, food sensitivity can cause migraines. Um, so then it talks about lactose intolerance, and often rapid discomfort due to deficiency of lactose, an enzyme needed to break down lactose. Oh, yeah, that was right. Break down lactose during digestion. How it's discovered is a hydrogen breath test, and the common symptoms of lactose intolerance are abdominal cramping, bloating, diarrhea, gas, nausea, and or vomiting. So that's just a little overview that they provide. And then down to my actual results. So it says you didn't show high reactivity to any foods. Well, I mean, that makes sense now that I know that, it's based on your current diet because I've eliminated all of the foods that I know that I'm sensitive to and can't eat, all of the foods that, upset my stomach and cause all of these digestive issues. I don't eat those anymore. So that makes sense. And then you didn't show any moderate reactivity to any foods, which, yeah, okay, that makes sense. So I had mild reactivity to only 6 foods, which, I mean, there are foods that, I mean, I don't know about the baker's yeast or the squash, but anyway, so mild reactivity. So this says mild reactivity foods create a smaller immune reaction, but they can be sneaky symptom causers. So almonds, I have a mild reactivity to almonds. Um, I mean, I don't really eat almonds anymore. I love almonds. And the main thing with almonds is that I can't control myself when I have them in the house because I love them so much. So, if I were to buy a bag of almonds, the entire bag would probably be gone within probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 days, depending on the size of the bag. If I buy one of those little cans, that's just like a little round can of almonds, that will be gone in 1 to 2 days. So, and they're while almonds are keto friendly food, they still have carbs in them. So when you eat them, it adds up. It really adds up. So while I do love almonds, I don't ever have them in the house anymore. It might be a special treat that I might get. I do drink almond milk. I don't drink it every day, but sometimes I just like to have some almond milk. Um, I use almond flour. If I went a long time without having any almond products whatsoever because I was pretty much basically carnivore for about a year. And then when my husband decided to go keto, I started making more keto recipes that use almond flour. I have some cookie dough keto fat bombs that I make, some keto pizza crust, things like that I make with almond flour. So, just lately I have been eating more almond products, but I have not noticed anything major that it's really bothered me. So anyway, that's interesting. So it just kind of talks, it just talks about almonds. I'm not going to read that whole thing to you. Baker's yeast. I don't think I ever have baker's yeast. I mean, I don't even know why that's even on there, but apparently I have a mild reactivity to it. I don't know. It's weird to me that that's there, but I just can't think of any products that I've had or recipes that I've made where it's had baker's yeast. But anyway, that's one of my sensitivities. Chicken. I thought this was so interesting. I mean, I don't eat chicken like regularly. I do like chicken and I might have it like maybe once or twice a week. Excuse me. Sometimes I might go an entire month and never eat any chicken. So, I do like chicken wings. I I don't know. I don't eat them that often. But anyway, I just thought that was really interesting because when I do eat chicken, I don't really seem to notice any kind of, reaction to it. So, it's a mild sensitivity, or I'm sorry, a mild reactivity. um, so I don't know. That's just interesting to me. I was really kind of surprised by that. I am not surprised at all about cow's milk because I mean, I don't drink cow's milk anyway, but like cottage cheese, I love cottage cheese and yogurt. Um, I don't know. I don't eat those things because they've always upset my stomach. So, I don't know. I'm not surprised by that, but I'm actually surprised that it's only a mild reactivity because I expected that to be one of my bigger reactions. But anyway, it is what it is. And it could be too because it's been a really long time since I've had cow's milk. I don't know. But then along the same line, it says that I have a mild reactivity to mozzarella cheese. Now, I eat that a lot. I mean, I love mozzarella cheese. So, anyway, these are all just mild reactions, so I'm not overly concerned by them. Um, I don't know. I'm a little surprised that I didn't have more food reactions and more reactions that were like moderate to high reactivity. But I think that it probably is mostly because I have really eliminated the foods already from my diet that I know don't agree with me. So apparently when you do that, then, they don't get detected. The winter squash, I am I'm surprised by that. I used to eat zucchini all the time, like all the time. Um, but that's considered a summer squash. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't, I don't ever really eat winter squash. So this says squash is grown in 5 different species around the world and is extremely rich in vitamin C, iron, and vitamin A. The type of squash being tested is winter squash. So summer squash serves as a great substitution, such as zucchini and yellow squash. Winter squash includes butternut, acorn, delicata, Hubbard, and spaghetti squash. Okay, so before I changed my eating plan, I did eat a lot of butternut squash and spaghetti squash. So I guess, it hasn't been all that long since I've had those things. So anyway, that's interesting. Those are my only 6 foods that I had a mild reactivity to. So anyway, it says your results were normal for the rest of the foods in the test. All foods will cause some amount of immune response, but these foods were measured in the normal range. No need to do anything differently, but if you're curious, you can see them all here. So there were 90 normal reactivity foods. So if I click on that, I mean, this tested, I mean, a lot of stuff. So I'm just going to scroll through here. I'm not going to click on every one because I'm normal on all of them, but now, so this is just bizarre to me. So like the one food that I have the most severe reaction to when I eat it is cauliflower. And it had a normal reactivity. But, you know, like it said in the beginning of the test, the reactivities are based on foods in your current diet. So I haven't eaten cauliflower in a really long time. And that goes for cauliflower, cauliflower crust, like anything made out of cauliflower. I avoid those things because every time I eat something that has cauliflower in it, I'm miserable. So anyway, these are all of the 90 other foods. So they test for 96 foods, apparently. I think that is right, 96 foods. So I was sensitive to 6 of them, and then I have 90 of them it's all normal. So very interesting. And then they have where you can save a PDF of your results. And I do have that. I have it printed here in front of me just so that I can look at it while I'm talking. But, you know, nothing too exciting. I mean, there's only 6 abnormal readings on there. So decide what's next. Consider planning an elimination diet. So, I mean, basically, it would be, you know, the foods that you react to, you would eliminate them. But I'm basically living an elimination diet. I mean, you know, so here's how it works. It tells you you temporarily cut foods you're reactive to from your diet, usually for 1 month. Keep a close eye on ingredient lists and watch for hidden sources during this time. Working one food at a time, you reintroduce the food for 1 day. This step is the whole point of the elimination diet. Don't skip it. You stop eating that food again for 2 to 4 days while watching your symptoms. Keep a food journal to make it this easy. If you don't notice any symptoms, you're probably not sensitive to that food. You can choose to go back to eating it as usual. If you do notice symptoms, try eliminating that food for a longer period of time, at least 6 months, before repeating steps 2 and 3. Depending on your symptoms at this point, you can either reintroduce the food to your diet in small amounts or repeat the elimination for another 6 months. So that's kind of how the elimination diet works. How many foods should I eliminate at once? There are a few possible approaches you may want to consider depending on a few factors: your lifestyle, your preferences, and how many foods you were reactive to in your test. So it has, excuse me, different options. So there's a quick elimination diet. If eliminating foods for a whole month doesn't work for you, you may want to try this approach to get a quick read on what could be causing symptoms. And then the phased elimination diet. This approach breaks the diet up into several less restrictive stages. It takes a little longer overall, but you choose how many foods to eliminate at once. And then broad elimination diet. This approach calls for eliminating all your high, moderate, and mild reactivity foods at once so you can finish an elimination diet in one fell swoop. So you can see that you can click on read more for any of those that you would want to try. And then after your elimination diet, you may end up deciding not to completely eliminate certain symptom causing foods. It's all about finding the right balance of minimizing symptoms and maintaining your desired lifestyle, and only you know what's best for you. And then take action with Everlywell. Plan on sharing these results with your primary care provider. Here are some questions you can ask during your visit. And then it just has a list of questions, and then you can save your results. And then, okay, ready to learn more? Watch a recorded educational session to learn more about our test and next steps. And then, this basically says if you still have other foods you want to test, you can do the next level of food sensitivity test, and it is a comprehensive test. So this tests your reactivity to 108 additional foods. So my understanding on that is the basic food sensitivity test is test against 96 foods. And then if you do the comprehensive one, I believe it would test those same 96 foods plus an additional 108 foods. So that's my understanding of that. So then they have all of these different resources down here. Meal planning. Then they have some common questions down below. And that's the end of that. And so then they have a lot of other tests that you can do too. Um, so, and I'm not going to tell you these are not expensive because, you know, they are. They're expensive. So nutritional health, they have a food allergy test. They also have some supplements. The food sensitivity test, and then the comprehensive test, and then celiac disease screening. They have a metabolism test that measures hormones that affect your weight and energy, and then vitamin D tests. And then, so like women's health, they have, so I don't really know exactly what that one tests for, but I'm not going to go too far into it. Menopause tests, fertility tests. You can see what's on there. Men's health, there's a men's health test and then testosterone test. So anyway, general wellness. I want to say, okay, here we go. This is what I was looking for too. So they have at-home thyroid tests, allergy tests, cholesterol and lipids, hemoglobin A1C, heart health, colon cancer screening, sleep and stress, heavy metals, Lyme disease. Oh, we must have a delivery guy here because I hear Oakley barking. Okay, I had to take a little break for a minute there because we had a delivery guy here and Oakley was barking like an insane dog. So so anyway, I mean, as you can see, the tests they're a little pricey just depending on, you know, what test you're gonna do. These ones aren't quite as bad, but like, you know, the food allergy test, you can see the cost of that one, and then the food sensitivity one, which is why I only did this because I was able to use my flexible spending account, you know, to actually order the test. But the general wellness ones don't seem like they're quite as expensive. Well, I guess that allergy test is, but so anyway, I have a few others that I'm considering trying. I wouldn't mind doing the full thyroid test because my doctor insists that she only needs to check my TSH, which, you know, you know. Anyway, I'm interested in doing that one. And then I don't know, it's kind of, I like that you can check your cholesterol and your lipids at home if you choose to without having to go through your doctor. Um, I don't know, there's just it's, you know, interesting stuff. The sleep and stress one seems interesting to me too. Um, so anyway, there's a lot of different tests that you can do through them. When you get your kit, you can see up at the top of my screen here where it says register kit. So, you know, you create your online account, and then when you get your kit, you have like a number that is on the box that, you know, you use that number to then log in and register your kit. So it's pretty simple. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Okay, so anyway, that's it. That's just an overview of the Everlywell food sensitivity test. So I like the whole concept of being able to do the home testing, being able to use my flexible spending account debit card online to pay for my test right up front. I love that. Um, I love the option of all of the different kinds of tests that they offer. I was a little bit disappointed with the food sensitivity test because had I known ahead of time that it was really dependent on your current diet, then I would have thought it didn't really make much sense for me to do the test because I basically live an elimination diet. I mean, I have eliminated all of the things that I already know don't agree with me. So it makes sense to me that the test wouldn't detect those. I didn't know that when I first ordered the test. I thought that it would truly show me what all of my levels of reactions were to all foods. Um, I realized, when it said that my reaction to cauliflower was normal, that that's not the case because my reaction to that is not normal, and that's why I don't eat it. So, anyway, I hope this was helpful. Like I said, I will share a discount link in the details of the video down below in case you may have seen one of the tests that you might be interested in. Maybe it's not the food sensitivity test, maybe it's one of the other general wellness tests or something. If you see something that you would like to try, then make sure you use my discount link so that you don't have to pay full price on it. So anyway, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you found it helpful, and be sure to subscribe to my channel, and I will talk to you next time.